Shalom, Chaverim. It's Rubisa. Time for some Torah. Reach up, grab your Torah, bring it down, give your Torah a great big hug, and get ready to listen. We are in Perasha Miketz, and a lot happens in Perasha Miketz, so make sure your ears are switched on, click, and get ready for some action. Now, to remember, we are in Mitzrayim right now, and Yosef is in jail in Mitzrayim, in Egypt. And Yosef's last words to the person who made the drinks for Paro is, "Don't forget me. Tell Paro about me and how good I am at knowing what a chalom, what a dream means." Well, 2 years have gone past since then, and Yosef is still in jail, and the drink maker, well, he'd forgotten about him. Except that now, Paro is having a dream, and he doesn't understand it, and he needs help. And so his drink maker says, "Oh, wait a minute, there's this Jewish man in jail. His name is Yosef. Maybe he can help you." And they bring Yosef out from jail, and Paro explains his dreams, his chalomot. In the first chalom, there are 7 big, fat, healthy cows walking along the water. Big, fat cows. And then, out of the water come 7 sad, scrawny, sick cows walking along. Now, normally, if you have something bigger, it would take something smaller. But that's not what happens in Paro's dreams. The sad, sick, skinny cows go and they eat the big, fat, healthy cows. And they don't get any bigger, even though they ate something really, really big. And then in Paro's second chalom, the same sort of thing happens. There are this many, remember that was how many cows we have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. But this time, instead of being cows, the 7 big, fat, healthy bundles of grain are standing along the water. And along come 7 sad, scrawny, sick bundles of grain. And the sad bundles of grain eat the healthy ones, and they don't get any bigger either. And when Yosef hears this dream, he says, there is going to be a famine in the land. Now, a famine is when the rain doesn't come in the right time, and when the Geshem doesn't come in the right time, the crops can't grow, and when the plants don't grow, the animals don't have food, and the people don't have food, and we never know when the Geshem's going to come, because that's all up to Hashem. But Yosef knows, because he's very good at understanding a chalom, that Hashem is telling Paro that this is what's going to happen. That for this many years, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, for 7 years, there's going to be plants growing, lots of Geshem, the animals will be healthy, be that big fat time. But then at the end of 7 years, it's all going to be gone. And there won't be the Geshem, there won't be the rainfall. And all the plants are going to die, and then the animals and the people could die. Well, when Paro hears that, he's like, what should I do? And Yosef says, don't worry. What you need to do is build big, big storage places, and then you can keep all of the food safe, and you'll store it all. So all the extra food that's grown for the 7 good years, you'll store it up. And then when the famine starts, you won't go hungry because you'll have all of that food waiting, and you'll bring that out. And then you can sell that food. You can make a lot of money. And Paro was very, very impressed with Yosef's plan. So he makes him like his second in command, like the vice Paro, the viceroy. That is going to be Yosef. And they dress him up like the Paro. He looks nothing like Yosef anymore. And he gets to work being in charge of saving all the food for 7 years. Yosef gets married. Yosef has kids. Everything is moving along. And then the Sheva good years, and the famine begins. And the famine, again, that's when the plants don't grow and the Geshem doesn't come. It doesn't just affect Mitzrayim, Egypt, where Yosef lives. It also affects everyone nearby. Now, do you remember Yosef's family? We didn't talk about them yet this week. But remember Yosef's 11 brothers and his Abba Yaakov? They don't live in Mitzrayim. But now they don't have any food. And everybody knows, if you want food, you need to go to Mitzrayim. Because in Mitzrayim, the Paro saved all the food. You can go there and pay a lot of money and get all the food you need. So, 10 of Yosef's brothers, remember he has 11, but 10 of them go down to Mitzrayim. And when they're coming in, Yosef sees them. Now, Yosef should have a lot of feelings about his brothers. Remember, the last time he saw them, they threw him into a pit and took his kutonet pasim. Right? We talked about that last week. So he probably has a lot of feelings. But instead, what he thinks about is his chalom, his dream, that we also spoke about last week in Vayeshev. That in that dream, there were 11 things bowing down and saying Yosef is the greatest. And now he sees this many brothers that have come to bow down to him. Is this 11? No, that's 10. So he knows there isn't one of them. And so he knows that his dream needs to come true. Hashem gave him that chalom for a reason, and it needs to come true. So he needs to make sure that his last brother, Binyamin, will come down to Mitzrayim too. So, Yosef says, stop! You are miraglim. You are spies. I don't trust you. Who are you? Tell me all about you. And the brothers, well, they're not miraglim. They're not spies. So they start to explain who they are. And so the brothers say, no, we are not miraglim. We're just 12 brothers. There's only 10 of us here, but we're 12 brothers. We have one Abba, he's Yaakov. Well, Yosef says, I don't really trust you. I need to see your other brother. I need to see 11 brothers here. So I'm going to take that one, Shimon, and I'll keep him in jail until you come back with your last little brother so that all 11 of you will be here together. And the brothers do leave, right? So we had 10 brothers visiting. We don't count Yosef's brother right now. 10 brothers visiting. Shimon stays. 9 brothers go back to Yaakov. And they say, Abba, we have to bring our littlest brother, Binyamin, back to Mitzrayim. The person in charge, he said we have to bring all 11 brothers or we don't get any more food. And Shimon has to stay in jail till we come back. Now, it's really hard for Yaakov to think about the youngest brother going because Binyamin was all that's left because Yosef was gone. That's all the children that Rachel had. And this is really, 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 really hard for Yaakov because he already lost Yosef. To lose Binyamin is the hardest thing. And so the brothers promise, nothing is going to happen to Binyamin. They're going to take such good care of Binyamin. So off they go. 10 brothers back to Mitzrayim with special treats to try to give Yosef, but again, they don't know that that's Yosef, to give the man in charge. And they go. And Yosef has so many big feelings when he sees Binyamin and he sees all of his brothers. And he says, come, you all come for a meal at my house. I, the viceroy of Mitzrayim. And they all do come. And they come in and they're shocked when they come in because they're set up in age order. And how would this viceroy person know? Right? Again, they have no idea it's Yosef. He doesn't look anything like Yosef. It's been such a long time since I saw him. They don't know. So they're seated. Reuven, Shimon, Levi, Yehuda, Yisachar, Zebulun, Dan, Naphtali, Asher, Gad, and Binyamin. They're like amazed, but they don't say anything. And they drink and they have a lovely time and they enjoy their meal and they get lots of food from Mitzrayim. And they head out on their way back to Abba Yaakov's house. And everyone's really happy. All of those brothers, all 11 of them are heading out on their way when somebody yells, "Stop! Thief! One of you has stolen. You stole this special cup that belongs to the viceroy of Mitzrayim." And they're like, "What? No, we didn't take anything. We paid money. We didn't. No. We're gonna check your bags." And they open everyone's bag where all the food is that they got from Mitzrayim. Reuven, no. Shimon, no. Levi, no. Yehuda, no. Yisachar, no. Zebulun, no. They're like, "See, we don't have your special cup. We didn't take it. We're not thieves. Whoever's a thief is going to jail for the rest of their life." And they go down and down until they get to Binyamin. And they open his bag. And there it is, the cup. Now, Binyamin did not steal it. It was hidden there. It was put there. But he is still being accused of it. It's still right there. And he is still meant to be in jail for the rest of his life. And the crazy thing, I know you want to know what happens next. That is where Perasha Miketz ends. So we roll back up our Sefer Torah and we send it back up. And we don't get to know what happens to Yosef and Binyamin and all of those brothers until next week. So have a wonderful week, my chaverim. Shalom and enjoy the rest of Chanukah.